Yo.
Dun.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Hey. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another Humpday Q&A, AMA.
AMA.
Brought to you by your usual crowd of suspects. Yes.
The mess
You
that we
needed,
are.
Usual
you needed to
suspects.
keep the acronyms going. Welcome to Hump Day Q&A AMA by
EIO. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Live from the UK.
The farm podcast. Yes.
Yes.
EIO.
Not approved by the FDA. I don't
Oh,
know.
dear.
There's something there.
All right.
Or the
Let's
AMA.
go into introductions so we can get going.
Yeah. Right. People know us. It's okay.
All right. Well, welcome to the show, everyone. My name is Simon Lightfoot, Flutter Community Leader, CTO at Dev Angels London, and you can follow me on social media at Dev Angels London. Randall.
I'm Randall Schwartz. I am a Flutter Google developer expert for the 6 years of the program so far. I answer a lot of questions online for people in things like Discord and Stack Overflow and Reddit and places like that. For this show, I am the question magician, which means that I am watching the live chat, on YouTube at least, and trying to figure out if you have questions. And I can figure that out by you putting Q: in front of your question, and then I will flag it for us to process in the order received. If you say the same question twice, we take you out of the queue and put you at the end of the queue. So be careful not to do that. All right, and on to Danielle. Danielle.
Did we lose Danielle?
Danielle?
We can't hear you.
I can't hear Randall and I can't hear Matthew right now.
Right, well, we can hear you now. So carry on and we'll work
I
that
will introduce myself. I'm Danielle Cox. I'm one of the organizers of the Flutteristas. We're a group of female and non-binary Flutter enthusiasts. And yeah, so that's who we are. That's really cool. And I'm also a Flutter tech lead for a small startup called Ardley. And that's me. And so it's John's turn.
Yeah, John Weezy. I manage the Flutter community medium, getting your stories published as they get submitted. And on the rest of my time, I'm CTO at Hill Valley Studios and spend time like Randall in places trying to answer questions for folks and help them along in the journey. Matthew?
Indeed.
Hey, my name is Matthew. I go by Maker and Eater online. I make all kinds of weird, crazy stuff out of Flutter. Still working on my current project. Someday I'll get another video out. That is my life goal at this point. This project just keeps dragging on and I can't get it done.
I don't believe it. It's not going to happen.
It will. One day, I promise. But I make crazy stuff and I post on the internet. You'll find me. I have 3 different YouTube channels now, God help us, that are variations of Maker and Eater. Also spend a little bit of time on Blue Sky, but for my day job, I am a senior innovation engineer for a large financial institution where I work with Flutter and .NET on a daily basis. That's me.
And we also have a guest here today with us, Milad. Welcome to the stream. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, sure. My name is Milad. I'm an expert Flutter developer. Probably a lot of people know me from my open source projects. I authored a couple of well-known Flutter packages like AutoRoute, Injectable, Skeletonizer, some of the old ones like Smooth Beige Indicator, and now my latest project is Q, which is an animation package, a composable animation package. We'll probably talk about that more later on.
Yeah. I just published an article on the community medium this morning talking about differences between Go Router and AutoRoute.
Oh, nice! I gotta read that.
Oh, are you the guy behind AutoRoute?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we use that. We use that in one of my work projects. We use AutoRoute.
Of course.
Yeah. You were doing tabbed browsing or tabs way before Go Router could, and so that's why we went with AutoRoute. And yeah, awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really easy to do tab routes in AutoRoute, and there I remember when I like worked on these, I made sure they are navigatable by deep links. This was a big deal back then for me. So now you can deep link into a page view page, or a tab view, or just like a an index stack page.
I want you to
You
know,
can have tabs,
and I can't
you
say
can have
much
your
more
deep
than
links.
this, but your commitment
Yeah.
to making deep links work is well appreciated. I just want to say
Yeah,
that. So thank you.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Cool. All right,
But
introductions
yeah, I
done.
haven't got a chance to mess around with Q yet. It looks really cool. I'm hoping next project, not the current one that I'm trying to get out the door and finish, but next project I'm hoping to do Q. It's something that I think has been kind of something that Flutter has needed for a while. Like we've got the default widget library for sure, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But having like a package that simplifies animation and provides kind of templates for people to follow to make animations happen, that type of thing, that's something that I think has been missing for a while. So I'm super excited to mess around with it.
I think Flutter itself has needed this kind of so you have the composability of widgets, right?
Yeah.
And animations are not composable via the widget structure, right? Like you have to compose them together and then you hand them to a widget to be used, animations, right? What you don't have, which I think Q brings, is that kind of, oh, I can have a builder at the top level and then all the other effects essentially built off of that. So you've effectively got like one controller and the rest of your animations can be done in sequence with that control, which I thought was quite nice.
Yeah, I've been playing around the last few days because I've been slowly getting back to working on the project that I'm putting together for Randall and I to talk about. So I've been adding a little bit of animation into it just to make it a little more fun, using Q to give it a chance to try it out and play with it.
So have you tried it yet?
We still have do's and don'ts and stuff before we actually get.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to any of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sidetrack us. I was so excited when I found
we were
out
doing
that
introductions
auto route that I just completely went around it. So
perfectly fine. It's slightly out of order. We'll fix it in post. We'll fix it in post. We'll move this around.
By the way, if this goes well and you guys want to make another episode about navigation, I would love to jump in.
Oh yeah,
sure. Yeah.
You know, rant about.
We're always looking for subjects to talk about here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we can briefly do this round if you like. Go on.
Yep.
Okay, right. So the quick part is be nice, be cool to each other. You're talking to human beings on the other end of the chat, so be respectful of that. Don't post anything that's adult or rude or offensive. Don't advertise or promote anything. Don't spam. Don't post the same thing again and again. I'm hearing a lot of extra noise in my head. Hopefully it's just me. Harassment of any kind is not tolerated. We do have band hammers. We do use them if we have to, and we haven't had to do that in a really long time. So thank you guys. But do have a good time. We enjoy sharing our information, and we are happy to share our happiness about that as well.
I hope you're not hearing things in your head right now.
Well, I'm hearing something. I think it might be a setting I have here. Hold on. Go ahead.
Whilst Randall works out if he's hearing voices, we're gonna move on. There's some ways you can share code with us. So if you try and post a link in any one of the comments, we won't get the entire comment. That's the entire sort of message you want to post to the live chat. So you need to do some very particular instructions, which are right here.
Yes,
John.
Yeah. So if you want to share code or anything like that with us to take a look at, you can go over to just.new, give it a title, description, file name, preferably one that ends in .dart, so we get formatting to make it nice and pretty to look at. Either paste some code in there or type it out if it's short and you want to just type it. And then once you publish that public gist, grab from the URL just that hash at the very end of it, not the whole URL, but just that piece that you see at the end, and paste that into a comment, and then we can go ahead and look at that code.
Thank you. I think that's all the usual.
We got the obligatory. None of us work for Google, so we can't answer anything with specific dates or things like that you might have.
But it's funny. It's almost like we're talking about an open source package that people are like, coding in the open, that you can like look at the issues and see what they're talking about.
I am so upset that I missed last week, because the announcement that Firebase has actually released beta for Dart for cloud functions. I've been waiting for that. I've been hyped for that. I've been talking about that for weeks. And the 1 week that I can't make it because I'm going to watch professional wrestling is the week that they release it. And I can't talk about it. And I am so upset about that. So let me just squee for a moment all over the broadcast and just say, you know, I'm super excited about that. And then we can wrap that up and just put it in a nice little bundle. But I'm super excited about that.
Oh,
Danielle, can you just say something? I think your mic was a bit faint earlier.
Sure. How about now?
Oh, now it's better.
I realized what happened.
Yeah.
I actually ended up coming on through Safari, and it let me do it, but it was obviously super glitchy.
Huh.
And so always before, you know, it just says it's not supported on Safari. Well, apparently now it's not supported well on Safari.
always the jungle adventure with Safari. Yes,
Yeah.
always.
So. Yeah, so when Randall went away again on me, I figured, well, let me switch it over.
Yep.
So
I'm
kind of curious, Milad. What made you decide to build Q? I mean, like, what were we having problems with Flutter's animation system? What was your impotence? What was the reason for trying to do it?
Yeah. First I want to say that my goal for this year is not to, you know, like put a lot of time and effort in open source, because I always end up do that because of, you know, my daytime job is kind of boring, and I need that, you know. I need to go out and create some cool stuff so I can feel good about my life.
We have no idea how that feels. Of course, we don't.
Right. But so yeah, actually, the main idea was quite simple. I want to be able to create animations without going through all the, you know, the controllers. I didn't even want to use the builders, you know, like use an tween builder or something like that, right? Okay, the main idea is when first of all, I don't like to how do I say this? When I write code, when I write UI code, I would like to, you know, like be focused. I want to be scoped, kind of like LLMs are. I want to be scoped. I don't want to be, you know, go there, make this widget stateful, create a controller, dispose it. This kind of stuff, kind of, you know, like take me off the route I'm focused in. I'm not sure if I'm making myself clear here.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, UI is the only thing left that you wanna do by hand right now, at least in Flutter, because you got LLMs. They can handle your controllers, your surfaces, your repos. So UI is kind of the only thing you want to focus in and do by hand. At least this is how I feel, right? But the moment you ask an AI to create some subtle animation or whatever, they start hallucinating. I tried this more than once with more than agent, and they kind of like they get lost between creating controllers, using an implicit widget, using explicit animations. Sometimes they mix them together, and the results are never quite well, to be honest. So yeah, these are the two main reasons. If I to write the animations myself, I want to be focused. I want to be focused on what to animate, not on how to animate, right? And the same thing if I to ask an AI agent to do some light animations, I want to actually feel the same. I wanted to focus on what to animate, not how to. Am I making myself clear?
Yeah.
So if you read the API, it's I've spent a lot of time refactoring it, so it's read like natural language, like a DSL or whatever you want to call it. So for example, in Flutter, when we use tweens, we work with when we define the starting value, it's begin, and destination is end. I find that a little hard to understand by AIs coming from not come. I mean, AIs are better at writing CSS animations, right? Because CSS animations are everywhere. They have more sources to collect information from. Therefore, they can write better CSS animations. So in CSS, it's from to. So I went with that. It also reads like natural language when you go scale from. It's not the same as scale begin end, right? It's scale from to. It's easier to understand, even for me. When I say for me, as in where English is not my my first language, right? It's easier for me to understand this. So yeah, look. There's a lot of cool stuff about Q. I always forget to mention a lot of technical details because this is what happens. I spend a lot of time learning about a specific subject to build the package. Then when it comes time to documentation or talking about it, I just assume people know a lot of concepts, related to the subject. But I just feel that way because I spend a lot of time, learning the different concepts of animations and stuff. So I'm really not sure what to talk about. Maybe you can ask me questions on like what you need to know.
I mean, I noticed that you got some really nice cues in there, right? So the triggers on the cues. So you got like on mount, right? Which I thought was that's one of those ones where, as you said, like you've made. I'm assuming mount allows you to do this kind of animations where you've got like a grid coming in. You can say, okay, these widgets are mounted, and you can maybe put delay on that.
Yeah. So this is just like on appear for iOS. I think they have on appear, something like that.
Yeah. So it's basically when it's
added. So when the widget is mounted in the widget tree, basically, this is what on mount means. I try to keep, the Flutter terminology.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's great. I think it's great.
A smoother learning curve. I've thought about like this change I just told you about, which is moving from using begin and end for to. This is what Flutter Twins use, right? This is what we all are used to. But I think it's better this way. I think now LLMs understand code better. I've posted some videos on X when I demonstrate this. I don't know if you guys saw those, but I think the results turned out to be better than I initially expected.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. Yeah. I saw you posted that. So I went in and I played with that. I grabbed the skill file and threw it in, and actually, it definitely helped the AI to come up with better solutions than it was coming up with before.
Did you try with vanilla animation? Did you try with vanilla?
Yep. And just tried. I gave it some stuff, and it was coming up with things, but not nearly what I was expecting. And then once I gave it the skill file and had it read through that and use that, it was able to do a much better job at coming up with.
Yeah, skills are really necessary nowadays, right?
Yeah.
You made 2 points earlier that I kind of want to touch on that I think are really fascinating. The first one is, when you're talking about like animations and things like that, you really start hitting the level where an LLM's inability to actually understand the real world starts to break down. They're great at describing the real world, but actually understanding what that means, they don't have any context for actually being able to do that. But also, you pointed out something really, really interesting in how much of this you designed with the idea of actually interacting with LLMs. There was a talk at the last FlutterCon USA called Flutter, the Last UI Framework. And the whole argument was, is Flutter still necessary when we've got AI that can write the code? And the whole thesis was absolutely yes, because Flutter provides an opinion. And Flutter provides a perspective and a set of guidelines for an LLM to follow. And it's interesting because this package that you've built, Q, based on what you've described, it really seems like an implementation or a proof of that thesis of being able to say, yeah, this is an opinion for how animation should be done. This is a set of ideas for how to do it, and it makes it easier if you do need to use an LLM for animation, for it to be able to grab onto that and understand it. So yeah, it's, from a philosophical perspective, it's really interesting to me. But like I said, I wish I would have dug into it before this chat so I could have had technical questions. I didn't, but this is, yeah, it's really fascinating.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, there's actually a lot of other aspects that I've worked on. For example, for newcomers, writing some Flutter animations could be really hard. For example, I don't think I talked about this before, but for example, you can, using Q, you can interpolate to infinity. You can't use that using the existing widgets, right? Not really interpolate into infinity. For example, you can say that I want this box to go from 100 pixels into infinity. You know, in Flutter, we know infinity is the max constraints allowed by the parent widget, right? You can actually do that. Yeah. Do you guys did you guys get what I'm talking about?
It is one of the
infinite.
Well, there's definitely times when you want to, like, so there's, you've got your kind of flexible wrap, right? I want you to be the size, the minimum size something wants to be, and you want something to be the maximum, right? So you have to animate and say, just go to as big as you can be. Brilliant. Like that's one of those things where, because half the problem what people have with a lot of animations is when they have to use render objects, fetch the render objects to get the size and dimensions to work out how many pixels to animate. And it's like, why am I doing this? The whole idea is it's live. You should know how big that widget is. I'm referring to that widget, not the pixels on the screen. I don't care about the pixels on the screen. I care about animate from here to here.
Yes. Exactly. So the size. I'm sorry I cut you off. It sounds kind of delayed. The thing is, or the idea is being able to do that in one pass, right? If you are to wait or to skip one frame in order to read that render object size or coordinates, then you skipped one frame, right? That's one frame without animation. But for example, the size box in act here in Q does that in one pass. This is like you say that I want to animate from, as I said, 100 pixels to the maximum of space available, and the values get normalized before the actual animation happens. But all that happens, in one pass. You don't skip a frame, then you do that in the next frame, and you start the animation in the next frame. This is one of the cool stuff I think Q offers. As I said, I didn't talk about it much, but there's so many features like that when I prioritize animating in one pass. When you don't have to use you don't have to wait one frame so you use add post frame callback or something to obtain the render object's coordinates and size information before you can start your animations. These are more technical stuff. I'm not sure if you guys want to hear about it.
No, all of it for sure. And for those that want to know what we're talking about, we didn't put the link in the chat. You can go find the package CUE on Pub, and that will talk about the animation package we're talking about.
What do you guys think of the naming, by the way?
Oh yeah, no, really nice. I like it as well. Yeah, nice.
Really nice, right?
To the point. And to do with animation, so it's totally on.
Yeah, it's it started off as stage, but didn't make a lot of sense later. By the way, one of the core, the core goals of Q was, or why it was made into live is scene animations. I don't think we have that in Flutter. Like when you want to animate multiple elements or multiple widgets of the same queue. I don't think that's easy to accomplish in Flutter. I mean, you can use
No, I was going to say, this is what I was getting at before. It's that kind of what you want is almost like an animation controller for your entire view hierarchy, like an entire screen. And then you have your ticker, sure, and everything like that, but it's not the same. you can't just like rewind and change how an animation is moving or working, right? And then having all these widgets respond to that animation, that event occurring, that timeline occurring. So there's definitely positives to having that sort of full scene animation.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I do. We went through some of this before, but yeah, just having this kind of the triggers like on change, on hover, focus, scroll visible, which is another brilliant one. Like again, it's one of those things where having something animate when it visibly comes on the screen from a scroll is something that's very commonplace. That also makes it feel nice, but it's also just really hard to achieve out the box, right? Like to get to understand when something is which is created is fine, but it's added off screen. It may be a whole page away from coming on the screen, so the animation may have completed before it comes on the screen. So you need to know when is it actually going to be visible on the screen. And also, I think you also had how much it's entered the viewport. I think you had that on there as well.
Yeah, that's on scroll. Like I don't know if you guys see that in some. I've seen this in the BS app. I have a BS5 app, right? When they have like like you have a feed, some kind of feed, right? So you have like ads and promos and stuff. But the ones they want to highlight, they do like a parallax effect for those, and the parallax starts from the moment the widget enters the viewport, and keeps staring at you as you scroll up, right? I thought that was really cool. The widget keeps staring at you, like moves with you. It really grabs your attention. So that's easily doable now using Q.
And then you've got your on progress for your scrubbing external support. So I saw that you posted the a few days ago. You posted the animation where you'd scrub and have the airplane follow a path, right?
Yeah.
That's bath motion animation and paint animation.
But you can do that from the cue. The trigger is actually the progress on the progress bar, right?
Oh yeah, that's the debug. That's the debug tool for Q. Actually.
Do you want to show? I mean, feel free. Yeah. Like you can bring up your screen and you can demo some stuff if you like.
Yeah. But first, let me tell you something. Really important, I think. If you remember that video, there were two types of animations, right? There were like the path movement, the airplane movement.
Hang on, let me share it on stream, and then
that would be nice.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the airplane movement, the icon, and there's the path drawn animation right beneath. These are separate, by the way. These are separate acts. Right. And as you can see, I'm scrubbing one slider, and like both animations are moving the same way. This is because the Q controller is actually a timeline with multiple tracks. This is what I wanted to go get into. You have multiple, just like if you ever edited a video before, we have all those tracks. This also, in Q, when you add delay, that's embedded into the motion. It's part of the motion. Delays are part of the motion. And not just like I'm waiting like future to delay, then playing the animation. No, that's part of the motion. If you play a Q on repeat, that delay is going to, to be a part of the motion in every cycle. And you can scrub through it. You can scrub. If I have a delay before the airplane, for example, if I want the airplane to start moving before before the line's drawing, I can just add some delay. And when I scrub it, it's gonna play nice. It's gonna wait, until the motion, the starting point of the motion.
Have you
What?
Have you thought about the new preview framework for widgets?
The what?
The previews, widget previews.
Oh, yeah, not yet. That's one of the I'm planning to use. I haven't even like played enough with previews to understand how they actually work. I'm not ashamed to do.
Certainly not that simple. But I am just thinking that this could be one of those things where you could show extra widgets like this in that preview view to help with designing those animations. So you're editing your widget tree, and you can actually just drag it and see it in action without your app actually running, right? Which might be an interesting.
I think it's possible. I don't know. I'm not. Well. No, I don't think of any reason why that couldn't be done right now with the current setup. I don't think I even need to add any extra, like any extra anything yet for it. But I'm gonna spare some time to look into it.
Right.
Do you want to?
We can.
Yeah. Do you want to demonstrate a little something?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I got prepared.
Anyone that's interested, get your Q questions in about Q or animations, and we can definitely talk about them. Otherwise, after we've done a demo and talked about Q, we'll go on to general Q&A. So yeah, let's bring that up.
Yeah,
like Randall put it out there, different Qs there.
Yeah, Q and Q&A, Q&A.
Okay,
it's interesting that airplane demo is very similar to a demo that I saw of Rive once, and it's cool that this is a native Flutter solution.
Yeah,
I wouldn't consider Rive.
Yeah,
I think
that too. So, can you guys see my screen? Can you see my code?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. So what we have here is a symbol stack with 5 float and action buttons, 5 fabs. These 4 are small ones, and I'm not using anything special here. Just a stack. I'm using the align widget instead of positions, just to make things simple. This one, for example, is aligned top left. Each one of these are aligned in one corner, and then you have the big one here, which is this one, right?
I just want to say something about the align widget use there, and not that it makes sense any problem for a demo. I just want to make sure people understand what's going to happen in this situation is each align widget fills up the entire size box. In this case, 140 pixels. So they're actually overlapping each other, which will happen. Will have a knock-on effect for any clicking or tap effects that you might have. So be cautious about the fact that if you use a line over a positioned, that you may cause some problems with tapping on your widgets. Sorry, I just want to put that out there for people that may think this is a nice shortcut. Like it doesn't solve the problem.
Exactly. In my case, the interactive one right here. Is the last one here. So what we want to do here, the little animation, the little scene animation we want to do is when we click on this big fab, we want these to fan out, or at least just like stand out from behind this button, right? Real simple, classic fab animation, right? So is anything not clear about the existing code right now? It's pretty simple, right?
Yep.
Just 4 fabs aligned, and we got this one aligned in the center, right? So when we want to write animation using Q, the first thing we want to do is wrap the scene of animation with a proper Q. This time, or for this case, we want to toggle between open and closed states, right? So the right Q for this is the untoggled Q. So I'm just gonna wrap the nearest widget here with Q.onToggle, right? This one is expecting a toggled flag, which is a Boolean flag. I already have one right here, just simple Boolean flag. This is open false as default, right? So right now, as simple as that, our scene is ready. We can now start adding animations to our scene here, right? So what we want to do, let's start with this one right here. We want it when it's closed, when it's open, it's false. We want this button to be positioned in the center, right behind this fab, so it's hidden, right? How do we do that? There's a lot of ways to do this, but I use the line here for simplicity. So I'm just gonna keep on using a line. I'm just gonna animate the alignment from center to, for example, here to the top left, right? So if you haven't heard me talk about Q before, actor is the widget we want to use to grab a target we want to animate inside a Q scene, right? So any widget here,
anywhere deep in the hierarchy, right? That doesn't have to.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. This is the beauty of it. So you don't have builders and controllers coming out. Just like actor. And I want to make something real clear. Q doesn't rebuild anything beneath it, right? It just provides the animation controller through context, so you don't have to worry about grabbing an expensive widget or something like that. And because the only widgets that's gonna animate is the ones inside the actor, right? So okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna animate the alignment from center into its dark. So here is top left, right. I'm not sure why my autocomplete is not working. I'm just gonna say align to top left. Simple as that.
So it's sent to the default from then.
Yes, this is one of Q's good stuff. Is the default identity no one values. For example, alignment. If you use a Flutter alignment, it's by default. It's if I go align, by default it's using a center alignment, right?
Yep.
If you're trying to do some translation, transform the translate, the default is always 0. So if I go translate from, right now the defaults are from is 0, to is 0. So you can choose. Most of the times you want to specify one target. Either it's the beginning or the end, right? Most of the times you only want to specify one target, but you can specify both, by the way, no problem. I can say align from top left, but start from top right, for example. Yeah. Right? All right. So this is all we had to do to make this one animate like that. We can do the same. Okay, the eye is helping me out here. It's really nice. We got this going on, right? Simple as that. We can give it a different type of motion. I'm not sure why my autocomplete is acting up. I can give it a little bouncy animation. This is a really subtle bounce, by the way. This gives you that natural look, right?
Nice.
Let's say we want this plus button to be a close button, right? That makes sense. Notice here we're going to animate the icon. This one, I don't need to animate this one. I just want to animate the icon. So I'm just gonna wrap to it actor. I'm just gonna add some acts to it. I'm just gonna say rotate to 45 degrees. Again, the from is defaulted to 0, so that's handy, right?
Nice. I have a question for you. Have you tried the animated icons that are in Flutter?
Yes, but those are a different story. Those are path animations, right?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to think of, so you could wrap an animated icon with anything that outputs a progress from 0 to 1, and then it will change the path, right? So instead of having an animated icon, I wonder if you could actually direct an animated icon to do the job.
I don't think.
If you look at if you look at the constructor for animated icon, there you go.
Do they have a progress? Okay,
Yeah,
you can. Okay, you can do something like we have a like tween actor. I think was it. Let's say it. Wait, not like this. From 0 to 1, because this is a custom tween. We don't know what the folds are, so
you got to build a parameter or something.
Yeah, but I think not a value. Okay, this is one of
change the transform to an animated icon.
Yeah. No, I want to explain something real quick here. Okay, this one is expecting an animation. Okay, nice.
You can do a value. You can do a value always. So always animated value, whatever it is. Damn it. What's it called? Come on, everyone.
No. It's cool. It's cool like that. You can do this. By the way, if you notice that I'm not passing a value here. I'm passing animation. This is really important.
Oh, and a Q animation is a normal animation as well. Nice.
No, it's just a normal animation. It's just got some extra stuff that's specific to Q, but at the end, it's just an animation. You can look right here. I just passed it to the.
So if you get rid of the rotate now off the act, if you get rid of the actor, the rotate, and run this, that should work then, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So that meant if you change menu close to there's another one, close to plus. I think add close, I think it is. Add close.
Add.
I forgot which one it is. It rotates the X. Oh, maybe I've this. Maybe they do another one.
Yeah. But let me talk about something real quick here. So tween actor passes animation here. It's supposed to be like a tween builder, right?
Yeah.
But it passes animation here instead of a value because there's a lot of transition Flutter widgets that are optimized to be used with animations. For example, a lot of newcomers with like a lot of new or Flutter beginners would just use a tween builder and pass the value to
an opacity entire tree from
opacity widget, right? So, but the opacity widget is not optimized for animation, not like the fade transition widget, right? Because that one is, it automatically wraps the whole thing with or makes the render object a repaint boundary, and it disposes the layer, the opacity layer as soon as the animation ends. That's really important. But if you use an opacity widget, actually you find a lot of Flutter sources that resources that discourage the usage or the direct usage of opacity layer when you are trying to animate something. You're trying to animate the opacity. So one of the things I had in mind is how to encourage this kind of behavior is to help new beginners not make this kind of mistakes.
So I suppose you could use the new linters, right? So make a custom linter with linter rules. So if you use the Dart's got the custom linter package now, so you can actually add lints to your package, and then when someone uses it,
yes, you can add some rules to your stuff.
You
should. Yeah, that's another layer of API protection. But I prefer that strictly the API, something like this. So now, if you are to go to use the value and extract the value, you would need to use an animated builder.
No, I think that's good.
Anyway, yeah. So let me just go back real quick.
Sorry, I was distracted.
By the way, I like this. There could be a specific widget for animated. It would be really simple to do. So back to this. What we want to do now is, maybe make this icon scale up a bit, so we can do scale again from, or sorry, to 1.2, right? Now it's really simple because of this API. It's really simple to add. There's a bunch of effects you can add here. Let's see what we got so far. Really simple, right?
I have a question for you. So if you change that scale to, let's just change the scale to like 4 or 5 just for a second. Something really, really silly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's just
so yeah, no, on purpose, because what I was trying to say here is, so you've got so in Flutter you've got 2 ways of doing transforms, right? You've got the transform widget, which actually transforms the paint of a widget.
Mm-hmm.
You have other
Yes.
animations that transform the actual physical size. So you can scale either the paint or you can scale the layout of the widget.
Yeah, exactly. This is actually another topic. This is a huge topic. You actually wanna stay in the paint. It's called paint transformation animation. If you care about optimization, right? And you should only go for layout change animations if
for the people that don't
have to. If you really have to,
I just want to explain that a little bit more for people. Obviously, so if you're changing, like we're saying here, the scale, and what we're doing is we're just repaint the screen, and that element of the paint, the element of the display list, is actually saying be this big. But if the widgets
the layout is the same, but the layout is the same.
The difference is on the layout stuff when you're doing that. Now all the widgets have to respond to the new size of that widget. So now there's a whole sort of knock-on effect of having to do layout on a lot of other widgets. Change their size, they have to change their displays, they have to repaint. So the expense of changing a widget size is actually a lot more expensive than just changing the painting scale of something. And if it's especially during animation, I will say that it's one of the reasons why you have. I'll give an example here. If you have a banner, let's say you have one of the reasons why you have snack bar pop up over the top of the bottom is because it doesn't have to require any layout changes for your screen. However, if you wanted that to push up the content, now you're relaying out a lot of your screen.
That's expensive. Now you're paying bills.
Yeah. So there's a slight. So it's like when you have a banner, maybe push down from the top of the screen, push all your content down. What you actually want to do is translate the bottom content down and just have the bottom content go off the bottom of the screen and say I'm okay with that, rather than changing the height of it. Because if you change the height of it, then that's a relayout cost. So that's very subtle changes that do have an impact.
You want to stay away from that. You want to stay away from changing layout during animations.
Yeah. But you have got that size box to help with that. That's the idea.
Yes, you got the size, but you shouldn't use it much, to be honest. You shouldn't use you need to know where to use it. You don't use this. You don't size a whole widget tree. You need to size 10 or 15 widgets, right? If you want to size like an icon or something, I don't think that's expensive at all. It is expensive, but it's not worrying, right? For example, this is why you should use clips where possible. For example, expanding cards, they clip their content.
Yeah.
There is still relayouting. There is relayout because you're affecting this sibling widgets, right? You are affecting them because I'm shrinking in size, so it's still on the other widgets or at least it's still on the parent to repaint that sibling, right? When you have like a column. But I think it's the Flutter widget 3 is smart enough to avoid relayouting that child, but just repainting with new parent data. So now if I have a column and I have 2 cards, one of them expands or collapses. The other ones still have the same size. It just needs to get repainted using a different parent offset, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot to talk about when it comes to optimize animations. Maybe we'll leave that to another episode or something.
Sure.
So you guys have any issues with this? Do you think anything is complex about what we just did?
I think this is pretty amazing, Milad. Thank you for coming on and showing it. I can't wait to try it out.
Yeah.
And that said, my hour is up, so I'm going to be dropping. So.
Oh, thanks, Danielle.
All right.
Thanks, Danielle.
Bye, Danielle.
So, do you guys have something talk about, or should I add GUI effect to these? Because I'm really stuck.
Want to add the GUI effect?
Yeah. But you know what's interesting is in a lot of your posts on X and stuff, you're showing your dev piece where you can control the animation.
Oh, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna need if you could show just how you use that. Yeah, like just
okay. I'm very curious.
So that so the little settings icon is that comes up automatically inside of the Q on toggle.
Yes, this all you have to do. Can you guys see this code right here?
Oh, Q debug tool. I'm with you.
Oh, so you just so you're adding.
If it's I'm just for now I kept it as a widget. Maybe I'll try to like create a div an actual div tool for that. I don't see it.
No, I think
I'm gonna have to do it anytime. Yeah, this is simpler to use. I'd say
push that one step higher and say maybe have a static builder function that just does that. So you can just do material app builder.
Yeah.
QDebug tools.builder, right? So it just gets rid of that boilerplate. But
I thought about this, but the thing is, I want to tree shake this whole class.
No, you can still do that. Right? You still do that.
If I go something like this, can I still do
what
that?
I'm saying is if you go reference. No, what I'm saying is, see, you've got line 9.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually have to remove the entire parameter and the function, just replace it with qdebugtools.builder, right?
Yeah, I like this. I always do this. You mean something like this, right? Something like this.
But then
can I
function still has the it still has the kdebug tools if statement, right?
I know, son. I'm saying I can't tree shake this now. Right?
Static function should be fine.
I'm trying to tree shake the whole.
But the widget's not included, right?
I don't know. I mean, this class is pretty huge. It got all this stuff.
That won't be included. It'll still be tree shaking.
All right, I'll look into it. I really like concise stuff. You know me. By the way, I made sure that all the BIs are shorthand friendly.
Nice.
I really like reading things like this.
Yeah.
There was a question.
By the way, I avoided the builder. I avoided the builder veteran or something like this, so I can go const like this.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Right, so you can stay. By the way, this is not gonna be rebuilt. This delegates the widget building inside of it. It's not this is not getting rebuilt.
You follow it. It's just specifying the configuration.
Yeah, it's just the configuration. Just the configuration.
That's how widgets are supposed to be, right?
What?
How widgets are supposed to be made, right? So it's all good.
Yeah. You just create a const configuration, so people like us can create or apply the optimization. We know how to internally, right? So you guys,
John.
Yeah, just to bring up the question. Somebody asked the question. I'm assuming they were talking specifically about the Q package, but support for the Swift package manager for the package at this point.
But this has nothing. This is not a plugin. It's just a pure Dart code.
Yeah, there's your answer.
That's the answer.
Am I missing?
Not needed.
All right. No, actually, one of the good things about Q is it has 0 dependencies, right? Yeah, it has 0. It's just Flutter.
I honestly want this to make its way into the Flutter framework, if I'm honest, or become a first-party package, because it is the kind of thing that we do need. This to me is like animation, 2.0, right? For for Flutter.
I'll be honest with you,
Flutter.
there have literally been times where I have, and I know I'm going to get kicked off the call for saying this, but I have not wanted to deal with Flutter animations, so I've just imported Flame. Like, I'm not even kidding. I've done it. I've done it. And I, you know, just because it's so obtuse, and it's not that I can't figure it out. It's just because I understand Flame. I don't, you know, I've not dug into how Flutter animations work under the hood. And so it was just easier in the moment, particularly because it was like a throwaway project. And so I'm super excited about this. I haven't dug into it, unfortunately.
Hey, let me know how you find
this needs to be. Yeah, I agree, Simon. Something like this needs to be baked into Flutter proper. This is something that gives Flutter a competitive advantage in my book. So,
definitely. Can I add a little more? You guys. There's something. Okay, this I actually spent a lot of time working on this, but I'm not talking about it. I don't know why. Right. So. Each effect here have a keyframe version,
right?
I might say. So let's say I want to do a slide animation too. This is how you do a slide animation, right? Just from same way you do this. But if you want keyframes, you can go slide act. By the way, this is the same thing as going slide. This is the tween version. This is the from to version, right? But you can go keyframe version like this, right? And now you have two types of keyframes. You have like fractional keyframes when you have like a fixed time window and you define your keys fractionally.
Yeah.
If I go fractional like this, what I mean is now you have like 0 to 1 fractions. You can say that I can go just, this is a keyframe, blah, blah, blah. But I can just go key here again, shortcut stuff. I'm gonna go X, so I don't have to write offset. I'm just gonna write the X value here, right? So here I'm gonna slide
50%.
1. Yeah, no, here this is the value. This is the fractional. So right now it's 0 at 0. This is the default of the slide act, right? It starts from 0, the defaults. So I want when the animation goes to right here in the middle, 0.5. This is like 50% of the animation, right? Of the fractional value, you can say. By the way, this duration is, you can specify the duration here. You can specify, where am I? Yes, you can specify it here on. If you don't, it's gonna be inherited from its parent. Right now it's this bouncy animation. It's got a duration eventually, so this one uses that, right? But you can specify a duration if you want to. So you can create as many keyframes as you want here. So I want to go -1 when it's when the animation is 100%, where it's right here. Let's do this. So if I go here, this is 0.5. Then see that I can create like let's say 0.5 here at 0.7 or 7% or whatever. I can add curves, right? And this is the fractional animation. There's like the iOS. If anyone has used the iOS version of animations, you can also do that here. Instead of fractional, you got the keyframes like this, right? Was it? Why is it? Okay, it's not. Why is it?
Is it because it's keyframed X?
Huh?
Is it because it's keyframed X?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. Keyframed X means like slide on just I'm just providing the X value here of the offset. Doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know, keyframes. Oh, sorry. It just needs the default motion. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know. I think the warning is kind of weird. So now you got keyframes, but each one has its own motion, right? I set a default one here, so I don't have to set one for each one. So I can say that keyframe 1, but for this use a bouncy motion or whatever, wobbly. I can not just wobble.
Wobbly.
I got it. Yeah. So I can do stuff like this, right? If I don't set a motion, it's just gonna take the default one. And you can still, by each one of these are its own animation, right? But you can still scrub through them. See, you can still scrub it. That's the beauty of Q. See that?
To be honest, just having that debug tool is super handy when you're trying to test out.
I tried earlier when playing with some AI stuff. I really liked it. You just ask the AI to do some animations, and you just scrub around, see where it's going.
Exactly what you want. Yeah.
So Q has keyframes. That's what I'm trying to say. It has keyframes.
Now that I see the keyframes, that's making me think, man, we could really use like an animation editor, almost like Macromedia Flash was back in the day. To that would be insane.
Well, the thing is, with the widget preview stuff, there's all sorts of stuff you can do with that. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I really have that in mind, but I just need some time. I still need to optimize this for when the animations are disabled. I need to disable animations as well. There's some work that needs to be done actually.
There's some nice things. There's some simple things you do, like just ticker modes, and stuff like that. So you can get the inherited ticker mode during your build of like Q on toggle, whatever, and then have it disable the animation, right?
Yeah, Flutter is doing it when working in the animation controller. I think I need to do that as well.
No, you can. So it's handled down from the ticker, right? So the controllers can be disabled through the ticker framework. So
actually, you just fake the what? You just fake the ticker is gonna tick. You can't stop that, right? Like you can.
Well, ticker mode. That's what ticker mode does. It stops it from coming down the tree.
Oh yeah, if you want to do it on the widget level.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you could actually do it into the queue, and then the queue can then know if it's disabled or not, and then disable its animations underneath it, right?
Yeah, I'll see what's the best way to do.
That way, if so, Flutter uses the ticker mode to disable animations in certain places when doing certain things, and then essentially Q respects that, right?
Yeah, but you need to. I need to read the semantic. I think they have a way to read the settings of the device, and some users.
Oh yeah. So that's what you mean. Yeah. So you can do that that's actually quite straightforward. Actually, believe it or not, there's the observer. Oh goodness gracious me! Navigation. No.
Yeah, I think I saw this somewhere. I think it's got semantics animations disabled, something like that. I don't think obtaining the flag is the hard part.
Oh yeah. No, I wasn't thinking about that.
What I'm worried about is how to handle physics-based animations, because even the Flutter, even the native Flutter animation controller is not handling that. If I'm to use physics, I don't know. I'm not sure what to do. Should I just disable them? Should I just replace them? I mean, when they're used timed.
I see what you're saying. Do you want to still apply the physics and have it drop? Let's say it's gravity, just
you can't scale down physics. This is what they do when they scale down the animation.
So the current way that Flutter deals with that is when an animation controller which drives it with the animator with stop pauses, it pauses that animation. It only cues the animation. So, I would probably do the same. Yeah, so I was just thinking.
I don't know. Maybe I was thinking maybe internally switch to using timed motion. That can be scaled easily. Actually, we'll see. So it's not a big deal for right now, but I'm trying to collect. I'm trying to get people to use Q more. See what needs to be changed before we go. Released. But
So,
I'm not getting any feedback. Actually, this is really it's not really going as I intended. I think it's that good. What am I saying?
So the thing is, with one of these like kind of libraries, it's one of those things where as Matt was showing earlier, right? He's going to use his next project, right? So you've got to wait until people can pick it up and start using it. They're not going to go rip out all their current animation system and put Q in its place, right? And all that work that's maintained there. You could do what Rody did. Actually, there was a kind of interesting thing that happened in the community. So Rody came out with his clone of Signals. And when he did that, he came out with a little LLM's text file, which basically told the LLMs how to convert to his package from other popular packages. So they could be writing up, maybe using an LLM to write the LLM instructions to convert framework widgets into using Q might be a nice way of fast tracking people into using Q. So I might take that approach. It's
I'm not sure what people do. I don't think a lot of people use the vanilla Flutter animation. I do until Q. I did. I've never used any other animation back.
Use it like it's used quite often.
I think especially like those who just start using Flutter, they prefer like simpler to use packages.
I mean, the only other one that comes to mind is the one that was done by
I've got a skill MD for you. I have a skill MD for you already. I just did it in anti-gravity. You want me to send it to you?
What's the package? What is that package?
Which one?
Are you talking about Flutter Animate?
Is it Flutter Animate? I'm trying to remember the.
That's the one from
Skinner. That's it. Yeah. That's the one I'm saying. That's the only one that people I think would go to is Flutter Animate other than this, right?
Yeah.
I am back in yes, what Simon said is absolutely correct. You need to understand, I am capital H hype about this package. You don't understand how excited I am to have like a really good animation package.
I'm really happy to hear that.
I haven't touched it yet because I am way underwater in like my current set of projects. And I'm, as Simon said, I'm not going to like undo all the code that I've got out there just to try a new package. But when I get to the next project, which will hopefully be, I perpetually say 1 more month, but whatever. Yeah, 100%. Q is going to be one of the first things that I import. And so the point is, the fact that you're not getting a lot of feedback doesn't have anything to do with the quality of the package. It has everything to do with those of us who are excited about it aren't necessarily going to be, able to jump in as quickly as we would like. So don't take it personally. I'm personally super excited about it. I will be using it. Bo.
I know, as you guys say, it's not my first radio, right? So yeah, this is like the 7th or 8th package I do for Flutter, right? So can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
I actually have a bunch of packages. Maybe you guys know this one. It's pretty old. This one is gotta be the first or the second package I ever do. It just like has it's just a small beige indicator, but you can see how the number of downloads. But the thing is, I don't think the Flutter community is how do I say this? They're not very generous with their likes and stars. Not like the if you like create a package and put it on NPM or other hosts like that. There's definitely more.
I think maybe there's an accessibility thing here in terms of people like they're using the pub spec or whatever else. They don't tend to they have other ways of adding the packages, and therefore they don't go to public.dev to do it, right? So there might be an accessibility thing in here in terms of having like a thumbs up inside of the PubSpec editor, you know, like inside of the actual IDE where you can like thumbs up a package. That would probably get more people doing it, you know.
Yeah, it would
You know
probably
what? Until you
make
said
us.
this, until you said this, I never thought about actually thumbs upping a package before.
Oh my god!
I've never done it. I've never done it.
Helps us maintainers.
Okay.
By the way, do you guys know about this package? Have you ever used this package before? Skeletonizer. It's one of my best works, by the way.
I've never used it. No.
So you don't use skeleton loaders. You don't use skeleton loaders.
So the thing is, I helped write one of the early ones of this on Humpday. In fact, I think it was the first one we had back in 2018. Yeah. Yeah, these are cool. So,
but look at the API. You just wrap your widget. You wrap your existing widgets. You don't write your own shimmers or stuff like that.
Yeah,
you just write existing widget.
I'm trying to remember what the name of the actual. Yeah, we did a similar thing. I'm trying to remember what it was now. We did it on the show, and someone took it and made a package. They asked if they could take it and make a package. I said, "Go ahead."
Oh, I think you're talking about the shimmer package.
It might be called Shimmer, yeah.
Yeah, that's
long time
really
ago.
known out there, but Shimmer is not. I mean,
it's not been updated for a long time, right?
Building block, yeah, it's just a building block. You still need to do the whole layout and add shimmers everywhere yourself. Anyways, should we add some goo to this? Do you guys want to see that?
No.
All right. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So what we're gonna do here is GUI zone this. Make this a GUI zone. Give it a colors black. First step. I have a Flutter action button theme here. I'm just gonna. It's already given the background color, set on the background color as black. I'm gonna make it transparent so that the blobs give the use the color. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go with blob. Make this a GUI blob. Make this a GUI blob. Make this a GUI blob. Oh yeah, it's really cool when it comes to stuff like this. Repetitive tasks. I'm gonna make this a GUI blob as well, and you get the GUI going now.
Nice.
Ooh.
Right? Yeah.
So now you just need to fade out.
I think we need to animate the icons. Yeah. Let's start with the first one and have gonna make this icon an actor.
You could keep the backgrounds circular, right? Because that's gonna be the minimum surface area, right?
Yeah, but I think let's try it. See what's going on. You're at some point you're gonna see that these are just overlaid. But let's. Can I not scale? What?
I guess just stick a fade in there. That's what I would do on those ones.
I'm just gonna zoom in and fade in at the same time. Okay.
Nice.
Zoom in just to scale is a preset for scale just from 0 to 1. Zoom out is the opposite, right? So yeah, you got this. Okay, let's do the. Come on, help me out. No.
Yeah, it feels a lot like Flutter Animate in a lot of ways, but with more power.
This is like you have this, as I said, scene animation.
Okay.
There needs to be a link to just say wrap this widget with actor, right? Like.
Yeah, for quicker.
There needs a lint.
Okay.
To get that to happen.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, why is this still okay? I think the GUI is too much for this. I think gooiness. Let's go round number like this, right?
Gooiness.
Tuesday. Yeah. See.
So
Just
cool.
as now you have to go like. You see how much code we added? Like, how many lines of code we added total? Like, I don't know, 16, 20. I can go.
Oh, you muted, John. John, you're muted.
Right? What?
John's to be speaking.
Yeah, I realized that I had muted myself before. I was just going to say you could actually even cut that down, because you could take, since you're doing the same thing for each of the buttons, you could just
you can just put in a for loop. Exactly. Yeah. I don't want to complicate things here. This is what I usually do. I'll just like have a for loop with if I have multiple properties, I'll just use records. Inline records, right?
Yep.
So by the way, have you guys noticed that there's 2 play buttons here?
Yeah, that's play reverse and play forward, right?
Yes, that's because you can have a different reverse motion. Right now, if I play this, the bounciness here is good, but if I play it back, I don't like it. I can just go reverse motion and make that smooth, right? So now with reverse or snappy or something like snappy, because
I like the fact that you've kind of got these pre-made like named motions rather than like all these crazy curve names, right?
Yeah, but actually these are not curves, by the way. These are
I know, but it's that same kind of
yeah.
You know.
So this is cute, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, the way that this the trigger is decoupled from the actual animations, you can now, using the same actors here, you can have, for example, if you want to use this on a mouse supported like platform, and you want the this fab to expand on hover, just go on hover here. Right? But on hover doesn't take a Boolean flag, and for some reason doesn't take a reverse motion. That's something missing. I'm gonna have to add it, right? But I can't have it here. So you get the idea. So now you can just have all of this separated from this, and
the way you've got,
and like exchange.
So just an idea. You've got actors. I'm just thinking about like there might be this room in here for animations to know about the positions of other widgets. So at the moment we're using a lot because and we can do this as a nice little trick, right? But it'd be nice to go
like local hero animations.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking about, like that kind of like key, like here's a key for another widget, use that. I noticed you had some stuff around keys as well in this. Is that something that you can do?
Yeah, this is actually this was mainly designed for modal transitions. Transitions when you want to morph, for example, you want to morph a button into a dialogue. You guys see me do that,
like the dialogue stuff.
Yeah, but it's actually pretty simple to do. You guys,
we've got another half an hour, so like there's not a lot of questions. Let's have a quick look at the question queue and see if we've got any.
Let's see.
None.
Actually,
no, we do. We've got a question.
Oh, we do.
A question just dropped in.
Okay.
Yeah, let me bring that up. There you go.
Oh, there. Oh, right. I was looking for Q colon. You're right.
How do you deal with
Q colon?
How do you deal with UI jumps when using different curves applied to forward and reverse animations in the middle of a transition?
Actually, there's like a velocity handover, but you mean like when you can I understand the question more? Do you mean that like the animation continuity?
I mean, you can ask for more information. I mean,
So what was the question?
I think the problem here is you're saying that like halfway through the animation, you're going to be halfway through a forward and reverse. So how do you deal with that motion, right? If you've got two different.
Oh, right. So if you're using one animation curve for the forward animation, and then you've got a different animation curve for maybe for the reverse animation, and you're in the middle of that, like how do you reconcile that? I guess maybe is the question.
Yeah.
Well, time-based animations like those curves, they do have velocity, but they don't. How do I say it? They don't actually use that, right? The speed of the animation when you decide to switch. But if you use physics-based animations like here, Bubbly Smooth, I just made this animation go slower, and you cut it middle way. Look, it's still smooth. The transition is still smooth because there is a starting value handover, handoff, and a velocity handoff. So then the reverse animation, whether it's
it essentially it takes on that velocity curve, right? Yeah, I'm with you.
Yes, there's a handover. It takes the velocity and the current animation of the current animation is gonna be the starting point of that whatever reverse or forward animation. Yeah. So see if I just cut off right away, it's really smooth. You don't see any jumpiness. Yeah. I'm doing the same for time-based, but time-based there's no velocity handover because they're not physics-based, so velocity doesn't mean anything actually there. But there's a value handover. Like current value, they start exactly from the current value of the first animation.
Sure, the reverse
is not over. So yeah, you still get like smooth. You don't see in small animations like this. You don't need. There is a velocity handover, but you don't actually see it. You can't actually tell, right? It's the same thing when using time-based, like motions.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. Well, I'm gonna have to jump, but this is great. I'm gonna definitely do some more playing. So, yeah, thanks for jumping on.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, guys.
We'll see you guys.
Hi, John. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. You can stick around, Milan. We're not finished yet. It's just.
Cool. I'll take more questions. No problem if there are any.
If there's any more questions for you, have them come in. I mean, otherwise, if you want to show some examples and do some other things, we can do that.
Yeah, I just okay. One of the things I'm proud of is the Q modal transitions, right?
That's when you're using it for the dialogues.
Yes, right? Actually when I started working on that first. Believe it or not, when I started working on Q, all of that came after.
So it's quite funny, like when you try and do animations in Flutter, especially with an inbuilt Flutter framework, and you try and deal with clipping, but without relaying out. So being able to like change the size of an outside boundary without the inside would not,
Yeah, I got a special.
Nicely. That's one of those things I saw in your animation. Like, yes, this is exactly one of those things. It's difficult to get right.
Exactly. I got a special Esprit optimize, and it has a special type of size. What was it? iOS context, not that. I'm trying to look for something symbol like. I think something called. I don't know. My autocomplete is not working. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, expanding cards. Expanding card doesn't have that. The delete. I think you already showed this one.
Yeah. We'll show it anyway. That's fine.
Yeah, let's go for it. Confirmation, dialogue, whatever. Let's run this one.
What we can flip back and forth here. I just want to say that there is something else I wanted to bring up on today's show, which actually came up yesterday. I came across this package and I wanted to share it because it looks absolutely brilliant. So there's a package that just came out called ResQL. I don't know if anyone's heard of this, by Dan Reynolds. And I was going to just talk about this briefly whilst that's compiling, let's say. I can get this to come up on screen. Bear with me. Right, share.
What was the package about again?
I'll bring up and share it on the screen here,
All right.
and then everyone can have everyone can go look at themselves.
ResQLite.
So, ResQLite. So, I was really liking the look of this. So, there's been several times when it's like, okay, I want to use SQLite. It does still feel a bit clunky, like to kind of come across and do that. And when actually I looked at this, it was like, okay, the big thing here is, as it says here, lots of performance experiments, isolated worker pools, which is really important. So everything's uploaded from your main thread now, nice, and it's used pooled isolates, C-level reader connections as well, which is really important for streaming of data from the database, encryption out of the box, common level reactivity, which is another important one. And it's basically, it's not just like a new library. And I really like some of the examples he's got here. So as you can see here, run queries in the background, no UI jank. So you can just do an await and you're fine. You're not going to have any problems, right? Again, Rob just said lazy views are only they're only materialized when they get accessed, which is another really important thing. So you're not like overloading your main thread with lots of memory requests, right? Running a dedicated write isolate, which is a nice one as well. So this means that you're going to get those, you can get into those situations where you're not going to get race conditions over the writing to the database, right? So you can kind of get them, they're all queued up nicely. Batching with the right way of doing batching for SQLite, one prepare, one commit. So you don't have to do a prepare and commit for every single query insert that you're doing. So it does this arrayed inserts, which is quite nice. This I thought was a really nice one. You can turn any query into a live stream, right? So there's very important.
I like this one.
Exactly. When you want to, this is the streamed readers that you get from SQLite, but to have it just come back as a normal stream and then be able to obviously do your normal filtering and RxDart and anything like that.
Just turn on the lights.
Then this just makes perfect sense, right? So again, works with joins, subqueries, views, and CTE. So all your kind of ways of dealing with data, you can get them working through that. And I just thought that you got identical queries deduplicated, unchanged results are suppressed, and read queries fire and write commits in sub-millisecond time. So just some really nice
what you want. Yeah.
And he's done a whole sort of test suite around the performance benchmarks of the whole thing and about how it's perform against other related packages. And I thought, when I want an SQLite package,
I wonder if they plan to add a more simpler API on top of that.
So it does say no RM, right, and no code gen, and then this is kind of an important thing. This is the most database packages. You need a layered approach, right? Whenever you go for an RM, if as soon as the RM doesn't do what you need to do, suddenly you're broken, right? That you can't escape it, right? So I like the fact that this is the high performant, benchmarked, low level database access that you need, and it's got really good primitives and really good support to build on top of. So I can see nice RMs being built on top of this, right? Taking advantage of its features.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I don't think having an RM built into the package is necessarily the best thing out of to go. But yeah, look, Reason writes a 5,000 row query uses sub-millisecond main isolate time. You don't have to sort of worry about blocking your main isolate. But yeah,
my experience with ORMs is that they're either spot on because you agree with the original author about what abstractions you need, or they're really in the way. There's really nothing in between. Yeah.
There's also a good idea to have a escape hatch, right?
We always have to have an escape hatch.
Yeah, exactly.
But But sometimes the abstractions hide useful details that you would need when you're writing your expanded SQL. So yeah, crazy stuff.
Yeah. So, Simon, did you see like this package has like 200 and something downloads, but only one like.
I was about to point that out. I was about to point that out.
Everybody go like it. Everybody go like it right now.
That's yeah.
And
That's really sad. That's really
You
sad.
also get this on Pub, by the way, people. You get to see your likes. You can see all the packages you've liked, which is really helpful when you're trying to find packages that you used before.
Yeah, even have that account if we're being completely honest.
That's a really good one.
So I just wanted to share that. I'd say that's the link to that's in the.
Thank you for sharing. That's really
in the post, and a link to the Twitter Twitter thing is in there. Anyway, right. Sorry, when I did that compile now work.
Yeah, let's talk a bit about. Can you see the screen all right?
Yeah, we can see the screen.
All right. I used to work with those widescreen screen thing. I don't know how I did it before. Right now I'm thinking this one is too much.
Oh, that's okay. Let's have a look anyway. Go on.
Yeah, this one is. I used to have two at the office. This one is it's my home office. Anyways, let's talk about this one. You already showed this in one of your.
It's a really good example of what we said before, the sized clip, which is that kind of.
Yeah. Let's talk about like the scene animation here. There's a lot going on here, right? So you have your icon. I still need to work on what triggers the debug tool here. Right now, it just like pops out when the animation is when the fourth animation is like done. But there's a lot of cues, so I need to find that middle ground, right? So, anyways, right now we have this button coming, sliding up a little bit, just sliding like 40% of its size, or was that it? No, that's something else. Okay, let's talk about the size clip here and why it's really important. Before I go into details, I want to point out that size clip here doesn't use a regular size object. It's using n size, which is a short. I'm not sure about the naming, but it means it implies a nullable size. This exists because you can't go size null something, right? The size object requires you to input both values,
which always bugs me. I also think that size should have a infinite option, or negative infinity and positive infinity as well. So
it does have infinite, by the way. If you go from height, size.
No, but what I'm trying to say is it's not expected by anything, right? So
yeah.
Like what I'm more concerned about is not necessarily it's about where you use the size, obviously. So you can do double dot infinity, but what you can't do is do that kind of the notion of intrinsic width, like wrapping. So there's no negative infinity to say, oh, you need to be as big as the content, right? Which I think is
exactly.
Yeah.
So what in size allows you to do is, like you can define a height, but not width, right? The width here is not infinite. It's not infinity. It's null. Yeah. If I just go like this, the width is null. And what null means here is go figure out the child size yourself. I don't have it. I don't have the size. Go figure it out. I also have something like dot, for example, from right here. I'm using I'm mixing things up. I'm sorry about that. But right here, I am setting the size. This size widget is setting the size of this, right? It's setting the width at least, and the column is whatever the child is, whatever the child size is. But let's say I already have something that defines size box. Sorry, something that defines the size of this box, or the final child, or the target child I'm trying to get to. I can just go, hey, size clip. I want to animate from rect.size. By the way, rect here is the trigger is global size, which defines the size and the offset, the quartz of the trigger. So I can
so where is that rect? Where's that? What widget is that builder on? If you scroll up, is that on the?
What do you mean? This builder
scroll
builds
up.
the actual.
No, I mean scroll up. That's a Q modal transition. Okay. So
yes.
Q modal transition has a builder and a rect on it. Okay.
Yes, it has a trigger builder. It just gives you like an open option. Just this one just triggers the route, to be open, whatever. This is just simple float action button. The trigger, this one is keyed from inside, so you don't have to worry about any of that. You just need to interact with the model by using this open model, right? So you have the rect. Now the rect is the location and the size of this floating action button, this one, right? So I can create or morph my content from there, so so it's smooth, right? If I sorry about that, if I scrap this what you're seeing right now, you're not seeing the trigger, by the way. Right now you're not seeing the trigger, you're seeing this one, but the frame 0, the starting frame is is a clipped version of the final content, and the icon is positioned here. We'll see how in a second, right? But let's keep talking about the size clip here. It's clipping the content here, right? Let's put it somewhere in here. So it's if I set the size here to if I already have my content size by any other widget, any other sizing widget,
it's got a size.
I can just go clip to child size.
Nice.
This is powerful because you don't know. Okay, right now we have fixed numbers, but that's not always the case. Yes, but what does child size mean? It just like null values. This means the size clip will figure out the dimensions later on. Again, you can just go. I like these. I can go to infinity. This shouldn't be possible. You cannot interpolate into infinity, right? But what does this mean is these values get normalized before the actual animation happens. It's actually internally using something called deferred animations, which is an animation you can listen to. But the tween of the animation is deferred, like until the information is all available later on in the build pipeline, right? But
I like the idea here is if this also had like the AI just like a dot wrap, like you got your child's, you got your child size, but it doesn't enforce it's an unbounded size, right? You're saying like give me how big you need to be, but there's a nice one in which it's slightly different aspect there when you say give me the intrinsic size as well, right? So
exactly, yeah. But you cannot have this and just like set your size here. I'm setting the width.
Well, it's especially if you've got text, it's not a great idea to kind of do that, right? Like you want it to be intrinsically sized, right?
Yes, but right now I am confident. I am confident that this size is perfect for my model dialogue because I have everything here is grabbable.
Right, but what I'm trying, but this is the point, right? So it's always this is mainly around just layout in general in Flutter. Anything that contains text, because its size can change based on the user's preferences, you should ideally not have any fixed dimensions around that. Like, exactly. Now you can have a max width, right, and then have it like seep up to that, and then obviously you've got the height to deal with. Then, so obviously, I'm just saying that people should respect, like, be careful about how they deal with width and height when you're dealing with text.
You should stay away. Actually, you should stay away from using fixed size and numbers, especially if you want to, if you want your layouts to work well with all sizes. Yeah. But right now,
I, for one, like giving a small number of my users render flex overflows. That's like my favorite thing to do.
We have a question. We have a question, a Q question. Before what? Are you going to say before that?
Well, I was going to say, on one of the size topic, there is actually something here which is one thing to say the child size, but there's also especially with animations, you want to be a fractional size of the parent is another interesting, like,
yes, you can go fractional size.
Yeah. So that's always so that's always another one that kind of
but I have a problem with fractional size. It actually doesn't work inside Flixes. Do you know that?
Yeah, that's big.
Well, it should. Honestly, it should.
Let's not get into that right now.
Honestly, it should. I should be able to fractionally size my widgets inside of Flix.
Okay, question finally. Yes. Is there a way to sync Q with the primary secondary transition animations?
Bro, you missed Q000 alpha. There was something called Q on transition, which it automatically read, it automatically read the animations from the RA.
Can you actually start a queue though from another normal controller? So I wonder about interoperability. One of the reasons why Rodi's package has been so popular, I think, in terms of a replacement for certain state managements, I think, is that it interacts really well with the inbuilt value notifiers and things like that, the inbuilt framework. So if Q doesn't let you initiate the animations from other animation controllers or another animation, then perhaps that's something they should be doing, because it means that someone can then still keep animations maybe in a parent section and only replace Q in a subsection of the tree, and progressively convert their animations to Q is a very important transition, for people to be able to do that.
Right.
Well, this as I said, I had Q.on transition, which automatically read the animations from the route, and you just start adding actors right there. The problem is when I had to have to move away from using the regular animation controller, because I wanted multi-tracks, right? I wanted a timeline animation. When I have different multiple animations running at the same time, on the same tick. So I think it's possible. I think it's possible to do this right now. If you see how Q dialog route works, it just let me see right here. Basically, where is it? Sorry, using a mix. Oh, I have a mixer for that. So right here, it say I'm overriding this one. It's the create animation controller method. I'm just building a Q controller, which extends
off-screen
extends the Q animation. I'm just returning that, right? Along other stuff I'm doing. I'm just I'm asking it to not dispose the animation controller. I'll do it myself after I'm done doing some stuff. Actually, this you can actually use this mixin.
Yeah.
But wait. Well, you can use something like this one, because this one is bounded by modal route. This is not what pages use, right? But the problem,
it looks to me like because Q controller is an animation controller. Anywhere where you have an animation controller right now, you can replace with a Q controller, right?
Yes. The problem is where when you want to. So how do I say this? For example, material page route and Cupertino page route, they don't allow you to pass physics, right? To pass physics configuration. if you do, I did that. I did this, by the way. I did the whole thing. I just rolled back the for now, because I have, like, I have a lot of stuff to cover. I have a lot of stuff to cover. Maybe I will get back to that later, right? But the problem is, like triggering, pushing a button and then triggering the page animation. That's not a problem. That's just, like normal animation, just forward. That's it. But the problem was with when you want to interact with the animation. So let's say you have
the interesting thing that we have now at the moment with newer versions of Android and obviously iOS, you can drag from the edge of the screen to go back, and now
exactly
you have animations and widgets happen, an animation that occur when that transition effect happens, right? When the gesture happens.
Okay. Yes, this is where the problem is if you use like a crazy wobble effect, like those like start most of the animation time is just like snaps quickly, then the other half of the animation is just that you see that thing wiggle around, right? If you try to drag, so what does dragging mean here? You're just scrubbing the animation, right? Just scrubbing the animation. You're going backwards, scrub the animation. So if you start here and you're trying to dismiss or perform a back gesture animation, you swipe onto the half of the screen, but the widget, but the animation is not happening. It's just wiggling around. It's not following your finger. It's an open, like it's an open field now. You can have any animations. If I allow Q just like that, you can have any kind of spring animation, elastic animation. So the drag gesture will fail unless you know what you're doing.
Guys, I have to hop off. I've got a meeting in like 3 minutes.
We need to wrap up here anyway. So,
but it was good meeting you. Thanks for having me on as always, guys. I will talk to you guys later.
Yeah, thanks. Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Right, I think we'll wrap up here because we're reaching the end of the second hour.
This is a huge topic.
It'd be really interesting, right? Because like
it was great.
There's several things that around sort of animation which can really be like problematic to do, and I feel like that you've kind of found those edge cases and addressed them in Q, and it's kind of you've simplified that approach. And I think that's the really important thing here, that it has kind of answered those things. I feel like what Flutter Animate has done was just to what Giskinna did was just to kind of give a nicer syntax, right? But what it hasn't done is address the underlying issues with the way the animation system works. But I think that this is kind of addressed that at the same time. So really, honestly, great work. It really is appreciated.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Star, everybody.
Star. Give me like
the archive.
Use the package and thumbs up the package. There you go. So
yeah, thumbs up, star.
You like his package, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's
comment,
the same with
and subscribe.
It's the same all around. It's been like stuck on below 1,000 likes forever. But if you follow the dependency graph of GitHub, you see that there are over 50,000 people using it or so, right? And nice. These are just the public, the public rebels.
Sure.
So
cool.
And I see,
I think the Flutter community should be more generous with their likes and stars, for like to support us, open source, maintainers, to keep on doing what we do.
Yeah.
You've got skill as well. You've got
today I've added support. Someone mentioned it to me in the X. I didn't know about the skills package, and as soon as I saw that, I thought it was really. I was actually looking for something like this, because when I first added the skill, I didn't know what. I used GitHub, Copilot, and some other agent, Kilo here, but I know a lot of people don't use those. So I just, I didn't know where, to put the folder. So skills really fixes that. You just give it the folder, the file, and the user chooses where to install the skills file, based on their ID or agent.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
cool. Is that installed with npx skills?
What?
npx skills, right?
That's something like npx skills, I guess. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
npx skills knows how to go into a GitHub repo and pull out the skills if they're in the right place. So I presume they're in the right place in your repo.
Yeah,
sort of looks like
right.
it.
I think we're going to wrap up there.
Skills.
We're on the hour.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Milad, for joining us. And
thank you guys for having me.
Your package. You're welcome back anytime. And
yes.
Let us know if you come
well,
up with
the packages. If you like, you want me to talk about like navigation.
As we said, we might do one and have
like that.
Just out, and that'd be really helpful as well. Okay, everyone. Thanks for coming to the show, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much.
See you in 166 hours.
Bye, everyone. Bye.